we will listen to you just like we listened to Moses, and so on. So that's the setup here. Okay, we're passing on to the next generation. Verse 9, so Moses wrote this Torah.
This Torah referring to...
Yeah, totally. Remember, this was a few episodes ago where we talked about Moses is writing down something and passing it on. It would have to have been some, we called it the proto-Torah.
Okay.
But the author and narrator, who stands at some distance from these events, wants you to see the thing that you are holding in your hand as essentially the same thing as the thing Moses is writing. Even though narratively, there's all this stuff in the Torah that we have in our hands that comes, the narrative or the perspective of the bits and pieces, from Genesis, all come from a later perspective. But there's a deep continuity between Moses' proto-Torah and the Torah we have in our hands, and we're meant to see them as deeply connected.
Cool. I get that.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a nuance between the Torah that God gave Israel at Sinai and then what Moses is doing in Deuteronomy, which is reestablishing that for the next generation.
Yeah, that's right.
So this Torah, is it that like renewed Torah that Moses is giving to the second generation, or is it referring to the whole covenant?
Yeah, I think that's what I'm saying. Within just Deuteronomy, it seems to refer to the actual content of a proto-Deuteronomy.
Oh, a proto-Deuteronomy.
Proto-Deuteronomy.
Got it.
But for you, the reader,
okay,
you have in your hands, a 5-scroll Torah scroll.
Yes.
And Deuteronomy has been alluding back to every part of the earlier scrolls of the Torah, wrapping it all together.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I mean.
I see.
That what Moses has in his hands is a
version of what Deuteronomy is going to be, which is just a part of the entire Torah.
Yeah. And what the author is putting in front of us is the 5-scroll Torah, which is meant to be encapsulated in this phrase, just this Torah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So Moses commanded them, saying, at the end of every 7 years, when you release everybody from debt, slavery, and debts, at the Feast of Booths, so in the 7th month, so at the end of every 7 years, in the 7th month, get everybody to gather together and read this Torah for all the Israelites, men, women, children, immigrants, everybody, so that they can hear and learn to fear Yahweh and follow the words of the Torah.
And if it's surprising you that you don't fly off to heaven when you die, consider this.
Never once in the Bible is the phrase "go to heaven" used to talk about what happens after you die. Not even once.